Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Smita Sakote. Again, come up for all of you postgraduate dermatology students with one more new series of drugs. All of us are facing this epidemic of fungal infections. And definitely, we would like to know what are the new drugs coming up? Because as a dermatologist, we are really worried when the patient keeps coming back again and saying, Doctor, I'm not happy with the drugs. I'm not getting good results. I'm irritated. I'm scratching. I'm not able to sleep overnight. So much is the problem of various kind of fungal infections. So definitely we are in on lookout. Is there any new drug coming up? Is that something we can do to give a good relief? So as a dermatologist, definitely we are here with an open, wide forum of various drugs. So today we have got Dr. Varsha Koti, who comes from Bangalore, and she has done her UG from MVJ Medical College in Bangalore. And definitely, she's not only a dermatologist, she's a sportsman, she's an athlete. No wonder you can see the beautiful glow on her skin because she is exercising herself. So that is the oxygen which is reaching to her glowing skin. So don't forget to enjoy life, and that's how you're going to be the best possible person. So that's how Dr. Varsha conveys herself. And I'm so glad that she has joined us today from Bagalkot, from S. Nijlingappa Medical College from Bagalkot. So today she is going to unfold a secret of a wonderful antifungal drug by name Voriconazole. So welcome Dr. Varsha on this platform of Mission Beauty. And on this Mission Beauty, we are here to enlighten people with all the possible knowledge when it comes to drugs, when it comes to beauty. So welcome Dr. Varsha on this platform.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yes. We would like you to unfold the secrets as to is there any historical aspect about voriconazole?
Yes, ma'am. Voriconazole was initially invented in 1980s as they wanted to see a higher broad spectrum action when compared to fluconazole. That is when voriconazole came into action with its broad widespread action against fungal agents. So it was in May 2002 when it got FDA approved for treatment of invasive aspergillosis, as well as its other non-FDA approval indications are in candidiasis and neutropenia, severe neutropenia, ma'am.
Well,
I'm bit
so it is not a very old drug. It is the latest drug which has come into this picture. We would like to know how is this voriconazole available and what is the mechanism of action, doctor?
Yes, ma'am. It is available in a tablet form in 50 mg as well as in 200 mg tablets, and it is available in a crystalline lyophilized form where it is used as an IV form. It is available in 200 mg, ma'am. Then the mechanism of action is it is a triazole. It is a latest second generation triazole group where it blocks 14 alpha demethylase lanosterol enzyme, where lanosterol is inhibited its conversion to ergosterol. So there is no synthesis of ergosterol which is required for cell wall synthesis of fungal cell. So there is it has a fungi-static action on the fungals.
Yes, so it's something like fluconazole method of action, only it comes to a higher version, which is going to be fungi-static and prevents the cell wall formation. So when there is no cell, the fungus cannot survive. Yeah. Well, how is it metabolized and excreted, Dr. Varsha?
Ma'am, its metabolization takes place usually in the liver, where it is converted into its N-oxide form, following which it is excreted in renal. Most of it, around 80% of it gets metabolized, eliminated in liver, and 2% of it gets metabolized in renal as unchanged parent drug. And some amount of it also gets excreted in feces.
Yes. So very similarity with the fluconazole, the azole group, similar kind. Yes. What are the indications of voriconazole?
Indication, it is FDA approved mainly for invasive aspergillosis. Other than that, candidiasis and fusarium species as well as scedobravium species also.
So primarily it is candidiasis is one.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Invasive
Very
aspergillosis.
invasive aspergillosis. Yes, wonderful. What are the adverse reactions of it?
Adverse reaction, the most common adverse reaction is photosensitivity. They can present with altered visual disturbance within 3 hours of ingestion of drug, and along with that there is visual disturbance for as well as color change, altered perception, and photophobia. These will be present until the patient takes the drug, and once he gets used to it, the symptoms reduce, or once we stop the drug, the symptoms reduce. This is the most common side effect or adverse effect of this drug. Other than that, there is hepatitis, ma'am, causing it can range from jaundice or hepatitis to acute hepatic failure. It can range from all these things. So we should be careful regarding that. And while giving IV
Voriconazole.
voriconazole, there can be the excipient present in that can cause nephropathy, ma'am. It leads to cytostolic cytoplasmic vacuolization of the renal tubules as well as the renal pelvis, so leading into renal nephropathy. So to prevent that, we should monitor RFT during IV injection of this drug. Other than that, there is dermatological manifestation where they can present as a rash, that is maculopapular rash to exfoliative dermatitis like EMF, TE, and SJS, ma'am.
Most of the time, at least people who are, normally we are giving it in the ICU, this drug. We are not giving on the OPD basis at all. So there is no question much comes about photosensitivity because these are the people who are indoor admitted.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
I would like to know what is the half-life and how long does this drug remain in the body?
Ma'am, this drug follows a non-linear Michaelis-Menten reaction, pharmacokinetics. So its half-life increases as we increase the dose. And it is not proportionate increase, it is disproportionate increase. So if we increase from 200 to 300 mg, the dose increases in the body will be 2.5 fold. For example, ma'am, it is not a linear equation. So its half-life varies from 6 to 24 hours depending on the dosage of drug we give, ma'am. It does not have a fixed half-life, and it gets metabolized within 96 hours. It is eliminated from the body.
Okay. What is the dosage when it comes to different diseases?
Ma'am, for invasive aspergillosis, the initial dose, that is the loading dose, is 6 mg per kg, 12th hourly for first day, and then loading maintenance dose of 3 mg per kg or 4 mg per kg body weight, 12th hourly. This is given for 6 days, ma'am. Following that, the patient is it is converted into oral dose where 200 mg BD dose is given for 21 days or till the patient symptom subsides.
Improved. It's many a times when it comes to such kind of critical situation, it is always, a case dependent. Many a times we encounter that the problem is still not settled. So we may increase the duration as well. Yeah. How do we monitor this drug?
Monitoring of this drug, mainly basic investigations like LFT, because it can cause derangement of the liver enzymes as well as it can cause hyperbilirubinemia. Other than that, RFT, ma'am, because it can cause nephropathy. These two are the main monitoring guidelines to be measured.
Is there any drug interactions? See, in the ICU, definitely there are going to be so many drugs that are pumped into the particular patient. So is there any interactions?
Yes, ma'am. There are many interactions because it is CYP450 enzyme dependent metabolization which takes place in liver. So a drug drugs like cisapride, mosapride, quinidine, which causes QT prolongation. Here, due to CYP3A4 inhibition, it causes the drug to get prolonged in the body. So there is increased QT prolongation in these drugs. So we should monitor that, ma'am. Then cyclosporin, tacrolimus, sirolimus, these drugs will be inhibited from metabolization. So their toxicity increases. So we should reduce these drugs doses when we are giving along with voriconazole. And then warfarin, ma'am, toxicity increases. So we need to monitor PT-INR in this patients with warfarin. Along with that, protease inhibitors and non-nucleoside inhibitors, also the level of these drugs increases. So we need to monitor the patient for toxicity, or else we can reduce the drug dosage and give it along with voriconazole, ma'am. And
What is the role with
phenobarbital.
rifampicin, rifapentine?
Yes, ma'am. It has the CYP3A4 inhibition. So the toxicity increases, the concentration of voriconazole increases because it is a CYP3A4 inhibitor. So we need to reduce the dose of voriconazole, or we need to monitor for its toxicity, ma'am. The
Wonderful.
concentration.
Yes, this is the upcoming new drug which has been explored for fungal infection, but it is primarily used for the invasive kind of fungal infection. So as a dermatologist, probably we don't use it much, apart from candidiasis. It's more being used with physicians and pediatricians and with the people who are practicing HIV medicines. So this is a new upcoming drug of the azole group. And definitely, we as a dermatologist, we need to really be updated. And that's the reason we are presenting with this wonderful drug. And I'm so thankful to Dr. Varsha that she presented this beautiful drug, Bynum voriconazole, which is an azole group, which is used for all kind of invasive infections. And thank you so much, Dr. Varsha, for sparing time and giving us this real light on voriconazole. Definitely, all the postgraduates, you need to stay tuned. And even when you are going for a walk, like our athletic Dr. Varsha, you can just listen to the YouTube and just go ahead with small little points. So, Dr. Varsha, I just want you to give a small, quick marathon of voriconazole, few salient features so that our postgraduates can remember it and can write down the exam, even if they don't read the molecule.
Yes, ma'am. It is a new triazole which is FDA approved for invasive aspergillosis. It is mainly blocking 14-alpha-D-methylase enzyme, so inhibits conversion of lanosterol to ergosterol, so thus inhibiting the cell wall synthesis. So it is a fungistatic action, and it has many drug interactions. So we need to monitor with protease inhibitors, warfarin, cyclosporin, or tacrolimus, and other drugs which causes QT prolongation, ma'am. Other than that, we need to monitor for side effects, mainly hepatitis, then photosensitivity and dermatitis. Along with that, it is a salvage drug used for candidiasis as well as invasive aspergillosis.
Wonderful. That was a real good marathon tip for all the postgraduates. So even if they listen to this 5 points, probably if they have a short note coming of voriconazole or short answer question, they'll be able to answer it. Thank you so much, Dr. Varsha. It was wonderful that you spared time and you gave us the wonderful insights on voriconazole. Thank you so much. God bless you. Keep studying and keep doing well.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for this opportunity.